नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी। Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, second chapter, the Lord in the heart, text 24. Vaishyanarang yati vihayasa gataha shushumnaya brahmapathena shochisha vidhuta kalkotha harer udastat prayati chakram nripa shaishumaram. Vaishyanarang yati vihayasa gata Vaishyanarang yati vihayasa gata Shushumnaya brahmo pathena socisha Shushumnaya brahmo pathena socisha Vidhuta kalkotha harirudastat Vidhuta kalkotha harirudastat Prayati chakrang nripashay shumarang Prayati chakrang nripashay shumaram Vaishyanarang yati vihayasa gata Shushumnaya brahmo pathena socisha Vidhuta kalkotha harirudastat Prayati chakrang nripashay shumarang. Vaishanaram, the controlling deity of fire. Yati, goes. Bihayasa, by the path in the sky. The Milky Way. Gataha, by passing over. Shushumnaya, by the Shushumna. Brahma, Brahmaloka. Pathena, on the way to. Socisha, illuminating. Vidhuta, being washed off. Kalkaha, dirt. Athaha, thereafter. Hare, of Lord Hari. Udastat, upwards. Prayati, does reach. does reach. Chakram, circle. Nripa, O king. Shishumaram, named Shishumar. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. O king, when such a mystic passes over the Milky Way by the illuminating Sushumna to reach the highest planet, Brahmaloka, he goes first to Vaishyanar, the planet of the deity of fire, wherein he becomes completely cleansed of all contaminations, and thereafter he still goes higher to the circle of Shishumar to relate with the Lord Hari, the personality of Godhead. Please repeat after me. O king, when such a mystic passes over the Milky Way by the illuminating Sushumna to reach the highest planet, Brahmaloka, he goes first to Vaishyanar, the planet of the deity of fire, wherein he becomes completely cleansed of all material contaminations, and thereafter he still goes higher to the circle of Shishumar to relate with Lord Hari, the personality of Godhead. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The polar star of the universe and the circle thereof is called the Shishumar circle, and therein the local residential planet of the personality of Godhead, Kshirodakshay Vishnu, is situated. Before reaching there, the mystic passes over the Milky Way to reach Brahmaloka, and while going there, he first reaches Vaishyanar Loka, where the demigod controls fire. On Vaishyanar Loka, the yogi becomes completely cleansed of all dirty sins acquired while in contact with the material world. The Milky Way in the sky is indicated herein as the way leading to Brahmaloka, the highest planet of the universe. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militang Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishthang Sthapitang Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayham Dadati Swapadantikam Vandehang Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupang Sagrajatang Sahagana Raghunathan Vitang Twang Sajivam Sadvaitang Savadhutang Parijana Sahitang Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanitangscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanto Namastute Tapto Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhubhaivacha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, Srila Sukadeva Goswami is instructing Parikshit Maharaj about how to achieve the perfection of life. Parikshit Maharaj had only 7 days left, and he decided to just completely detach himself and prepare for death. And he went to the bank of the Ganges, and there many saintly personalities assembled, because the news already reached them that the king is about to leave his body. So they also came to help the king at a difficult time like that. And at that time, Shukadeva Goswami also arrived there. And seeing Sukadeva Goswami, although most of them actually did not know Sukadeva Goswami at that time, but they could recognize that he is a very exalted personality. The signs of an exalted personality is there in his physical features. One of the symptoms is his hands stretch beyond his knees. Ajanulumbito bhujo. So his hands are very long. They go up to their knee, up to his knees. And in this way, there are various signs in his body that indicates that he's a very exalted personality. Apparently, Shukdev Goswami was like a madman. His feature was just like a 16-year-old boy, young. But he did not have any external consciousness, therefore he was not wearing any clothes. His hair was disheveled. He never combed his hair, what to speak of cut his hair, trim his hair. And he used to roam around like a madman. It has been described that whenever he needed something to eat, he would just go to some householder's house and just take some milk. He would stay in the house only as much time it takes to milk the cow, and he would move on. He would not even stay at one place. He wouldn't spend any time at any place unless it was absolutely necessary. And Sukadeva Goswami arrived there. And although he was very young and practically unknown, but all the sages stood up in respect. So in this way we can see the ultimate consideration of seniority is one's spiritual advancement. Sukadeva Goswami, by age he was young. He was not even a Brahmana. He was not wearing a Brahmin thread. So by Varnashram consideration also he was not senior. But he was actually, they could recognize that he is a transcendental personality. He is not in this material nature. His consciousness is perfectly situated at the lotus feet of Krishna. He is in the spiritual sky. He is in Vishuddha Sattva. And that stage is known as Paramhamsa stage or Avadhuta stage. No external consciousness. And Parikshit Maharaj very humbly and sincerely asked him some questions. And Sukadeva Goswami is giving the answers. So the consideration was, what should one do at a critical time like this when one is about to leave his body? What should one do? And Sukadeva Goswami started to instruct him. And this is the preliminary stage of his instructions. At the preliminary stage of his instructions, he is explaining what one actually does, what the yogis usually do. The yogis, they have mastered the art of living their body at their will. Ordinary people have to accept death when it comes. But that's not the case with a yogi. A yogi can decide when he is going to leave his body. And they already are able to travel to the outer space through the yoga process. That is how effective this yoga process is. The process of yoga is very, very effective if it's properly practiced. But the process is very difficult. That's why it's not possible to practice yoga in this age. It needs extremely powerful individuals. Now, one interesting thing to note here is that Sukadeva Goswami is explaining that Shishumar Chakra and going through the Sushumna channel, Sushumna passage, the going through the traveling through the Milky Way. Now, in one hand, it's external travel. But what do the yogis do? Yogis simply control their life energy or consciousness internally. So they control it internally and they become elevated externally. That's how the process actually works. Now, if we consider these terms according to the Yoga Shastra, Patanjali's Yoga, the Sushumna is actually a channel which is in the vertebral column. The nervous system runs through the vertebral column. The nerves, all the nerves of the body, where do they converge? Ganganarayan, you're a doctor. Where does it converge? They converge in the spinal cord. And then what happens? Where does the spinal cord go? Priyavrata? Where does the spinal cord lead to? Spinal cord? Brain center. And our consciousness is a matter of nervous system. All the nerves in the body are ending with some sense organs. How many senses are there, Punit? How many senses are there? 5. What are they? Okay, those 5 senses are eyes, ears, nose, touch, and tongue. Now you remember. So I became nervous because I asked you a question. Okay. Now you know, yeah? Actually, they're not 5 senses. They're 10 senses. Do you know what are the other 5? These are known as knowledge. These 5 that I just mentioned, they're the knowledge acquiring senses. Gyanendriya. And there are 5 working senses. Karmendriya. They are Bak, Pani, Payu, Udar, Upastha. Speech, hands, legs, belly, anus, and genitals. So these are the 5 working senses. So 10. Not only 10 senses. Totally there are 11 senses. What is the 11th sense? Who knows? Very good. The 11th sense is the mind. And that is known as Antarendriya. Karmendriya, Gyanendriya, and Antarendriya. 11 senses. So all the nerves in the body end in all these 5 knowledge acquiring senses. Some nerves are ending at our eyes. Some nerves are ending at our nose. Some nerves are ending in our ears. Some nerves are ending in our tongues. And rest of the nerves are ending in our skin. So all the nerves are actually ending in the sense organs. And whatever the senses perceive, those informations are carried by the nervous system to the brain center. And the registration takes place in the brain, which is the seat of the subtle body. The body consisting of mind, intelligence, and false ego is situated in the brain, in the head. So mind registers, intelligence responds, and false ego thinks that he is the doer. So this is our material existence. So what do the yogis do? Yogis try to counteract that. Normal condition is dhayate vishayan pungsha sangaste shupajayate. Vishayan pungsha. Vishaya means objects of the senses. And the senses are constantly running towards the objects of the senses. And as a result of that, we develop our material attachments. Desire to enjoy the objects of the senses. Eyes see something beautiful, and what does the mind say? The mind says, I want it. And this is immediately transmitted to the false ego. Actually, through the mind, it's the false ego who desires. I want to enjoy this. So this is how in the material nature, due to the false ego, one is constantly wanting to enjoy what? The objects of the senses. Vishayan pungsha. But a yogi tries to counteract that. No more enjoyment. No more, and in order to see, in order to counteract that, what it does, dhayate vishayan pungsha. The senses are running towards the objects of the senses. Consciousness through the senses is running towards the objects of the senses. So what does the yogi do? They withdraw that. Pratyahar. He becomes so powerful that he can actually withdraw the consciousness completely. But in order to do that, one has to be extremely powerful. That's why Arjuna is saying, it's not for me. It's not for me. I can't do that, Krishna. Chanchala hi manak Krishna, pramathi balavadriham. Tasyahang nigrahang manne, nigrahang. To control the senses, control the mind. Vayoriva Suduskaram. It's as difficult as controlling the wind. Who can control the air? When the wind blows, can we control it? So even a powerful personality like Arjun is saying it's impossible. Jai Shri Shri Krishna Balaram ki Jai. Jai Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki Jai. Jai Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki Jai. So when a personality like Arjun is saying it's impossible for him, what to speak of others? And is Arjun an ordinary person? Arjun was so powerful that he alone could fight with 1,000 Maharathis. During the battle of Kurukshetra, his body was pierced with hundreds of arrows. He didn't care, he kept on fighting. Can you imagine? No concern for pain. He would fight the battle during the day, go back. And even at night we see that they were not sleeping. In Mahabharata, you see that they were not sleeping. They're planning, they were just discussing among themselves. And in the morning he's fit enough to fight. That's why Arjun is Gudakesha. He's a conqueror of sleep. He conquered sleep. He didn't need to sleep. Such a powerful person, and he's saying, I can't do it. Yeah, through the process of yoga, it is impossible to control. Now let us see what the yogis do. You see, the nerve current generally flows through two channels, Ida and Pingala. One is the positive channel and negative channel, coming in, going out. So this is how it creates the cycle. The nerve currents are flowing that's like a circuit. Electric circuit is complete. Why? When positive and negative are connected, right? Then the flow becomes continuous, right? If the positive wire and negative wire are not connected, it won't work. Why does a bulb light? Do you see in a bulb, there are two cables. One is a red cable, one is a blue cable, or a green cable. So they are plus and minus, positive and negative cable. They are connected to the bulb. And then the electricity starts to pass through the bulb. The generator is supplying the electricity. The powerhouse is supplying the electricity. But when you switch it on, what actually happens? It starts to flow. When it flows, what happens? It flows through the light bulb. And then it comes to the filament. What is the filament? The filament is actually the resistance. It doesn't allow the electricity to pass through. It stops. And as a result of that, it becomes hot. When the electricity doesn't pass through, negative to positive, rather it ends at one point, it becomes heated up. And when a metal becomes hot, what happens? It becomes red hot, it gives out light. That is how we get light. Now similarly in our body also things are happening that way. The nerve currents are flowing through Ida and Pingala, and as a result of that we are actually perceiving through our senses. So this is how on the left hand side is the Ira, and on the right hand side is the Pingala. And the nerve current is flowing. But a yogi makes that stop. That flow of energy. What energy is that? Life energy. What is life energy? The spiritual energy. That energy stops. He makes it stop. And then, in the center of our spinal cord, as they say, actually, medically they cannot see that. But according to the yoga, there is a central cord. In the cord, there is a central channel. And that channel is called Shushumna. And the yogi stops the Ira and Pingala flow from Ira and Pingala and makes the life energy rise through the Shushumna, which has been described here. But this Sushumna has been described as an external thing. And then, when it rises, it penetrates through different chakras. There are 6 chakras. Isn't it interesting that the base is there, the base is the spinal column, and above the base of the spinal column there are 6 chakras. Now how many higher planetary systems are there above the Earth planet? 6. Does it make sense? One actually goes to those higher planetary systems by making the life energy rise through Shushumna, breaking through penetrating through the chakras. So he makes it rise. So as the thing rises, as the consciousness rises, one externally finds himself in higher and higher planetary systems. Bhurloka, above Bhurloka, Bhuvarloka, Swarloka, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, and Satyaloka. So, it's actually our Vedic knowledge is so scientific, so scientific, that there is no room, like anybody, if somebody approaches this subject in a proper way, there is no room for having any doubt. But the question is whether one is able to practice this process. Yes, process of yoga is very difficult to practice. Especially for us in this age of Kali, it's not possible. Therefore, Mahaprabhu came and gave us the holy name. Gave us a process which is very simple, very easy. Very easy process. Just chant the holy name. But this chanting of the holy name entails another consideration. Chanting of the holy name involves the consideration of surrender. So this chanting is the indication of surrendering to the Lord in devotion to Him. So the process of chanting is actually a process of devotion. Why does one chant the holy name? Prabhupada used to say that chanting Hare Krishna and chanting Coca-Cola is not the same. You may chant Try to chant. Sometimes some yogis say you can say anything, it will have the same. I mean, not yogi. I mean, those fake bhogi yogis who used to go to America and they used to say, they used to give some mantra and say that you can repeat it and you will derive the benefit. No, just chanting, just saying anything repeatedly will not derive the same benefit. That's the difference between ordinary sound vibration and mantra or spiritual sound vibration. Now this is also, we can see like how scientific the Vedic wisdom is. The Vedas are not just, saying that just the mantra. Vedas are analyzing the sound, which no scientist in today's world has actually even tried to consider even. Like, just consider the Vedic concept of sound. There are two types of sounds, meaningless sounds and meaningful sounds. Right? Like, for example, blah. Or you hit two object. Some sound is made, but does it convey any meaning? Huh? Does it convey any meaning? No. But water, earth, light, chandelier, floor, ceiling, painting, Priyavrata, Ganganarayan, Gaur Nitai. Do you see the difference? One is meaningless sound and the other is meaningful sound. So among the meaningful sound, there are some sounds that convey the meanings of material objects. Like as I said right now, earth, water, fire, floor, microphone, carpet. So immediately it conveys some meaning. But what are those meanings? Those meanings are of mundane objects. They're giving us the impression, the sound is actually giving us the image of some mundane objects. But there are some sounds that convey the spiritual objects. And the sound that conveys the spiritual objects, they actually come from the spiritual world. And those sounds are mantra or transcendental sound vibration. Now different objects are conveying different spiritual, different sounds, spiritual sounds or mantras are conveying different spiritual objects. But there is some sound that is conveying or indicating the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the topmost object of the spiritual world. Therefore, this mantra is Mahamantra. Is it scientific or non-scientific? So this is how scientific the spiritual, this subject is. Vedas are. Who did you offer obeisances? What's his? Vaibhav, yeah. Vaibhav? Who did you offer obeisances? Two. किसको प्रणाम किया तुमने? अच्छा, हमको. पर तुमको किसकी ओर पैर दिखाया? तुम हमको प्रणाम करते हुए भगवान की ओर पैर दिखा दिया. ठीक नहीं हुआ. ठीक है? वैसा नहीं करना, ऐसे सीध उस ख्याल रखना भगवान कहाँ है. Okay? Okay. Thank you, Vaibhav. So Vedas are so scientific. That's why Prabhupada is to challenge. If you have any question, if you have any doubt, you can come to me and you can ask. And in the light of the Vedas, we can answer any relevant questions. Because it's scientific. There is nothing imaginary in the Vedas. There is nothing unreal. Everything is the truth and the absolute truth. Therefore, the process that has been given for this age has to be taken very, very seriously. And the process is the congregational chanting of the holy name of the Lord. The Lord has simplified the process, but we are so pathetic that we don't want to accept it. We take it easy, we take it for granted. Oh, what's the use? No, we have to take it very seriously. Nowadays we find the processes like yogas and meditation are gaining so much popularity. Why are they gaining popularity? Because it's difficult. And why people don't take Krishna consciousness that seriously? Because it's so easy. This is another reason. One reason. Another reason is that they are more concerned about the immediate material benefit. By practicing yoga, there is some physical benefit. So they say, okay, yeah, it works. Whereas to accept the process of Krishna consciousness, the result may not be physically perceived immediately. And also, this process involves or demands a strict restriction. That, of course, yoga also does. And yoga demands even more strict habits and following the more strict principles. For example, a yogi will not eat cooked food. He won't eat cooked food. He'll just take raw food. If you want to practice yoga, take raw food. Not even boiled food. You want to take rice, soak it in water and take it. And most of the times they cannot even afford it because they have to go to a solitary place where even to get rice, uncooked rice, is a luxury. Can you imagine if you're in the middle of the forest, what are you going to get there? You're in the middle of a forest, what to speak of the snow-capped mountains of the Himalayas. Some yogis live there. They still live there. And you know what they do? They come down once a year to a valley where you get the honey from the lotus. And they would just take about a spoonful of it and go back for 1 year. So that is how difficult the process is. But what is being presented? Just some pranayam. Control your breathing process. Close your left ears and take breath from the right ears. I'm sorry, not ears, nose. Now close your right nose and take breath from your left nose. Now you hold it for count 1, 2, 3. Now you can give it out. Joke. And a bunch of cheaters. Cheating the mass of cheated people. People in this age are so foolish that even though they're being exploited and cheated, they don't recognize, they don't realize that. And you go try to benefit them in a real way, they said, no, we are not interested. That is the unfortunate state of affairs in this age of Kali. Spiritual life is a serious business. One should not take it lightly. It's a very, very serious business. That's why Prabhupada used to say, like, our litmus test is whether you are prepared to follow the four regulative principles. This is a test. And Prabhupada said that instead of four regulative principles, if I had three regulative principles, if I was lax with even one regulative principle, there would have been thousands of people coming to join us. But Prabhupada's point is no, we don't want to compromise. Does a real diamond dealer compromise? No, he'll go for diamonds. He won't go for anything else. He'll just go for diamonds. Not even semi-precious stones. What to speak of plastics and glasses. So that is the genuineness of the real process of Krishna consciousness. So those who are serious, yes. If you want to take to this process seriously, you have to follow the four regulative principles. No compromise whatsoever. If you want to make spiritual advancement, no meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, no gambling. You're prepared? Okay, now let's talk. So that is the litmus test. That's the real taste. Who is serious and who is not. And the more serious we become in this path, the more rapid advancement we will make. We do things half-heartedly, the result will be not that effective. Do things wholeheartedly, you will see how wonderfully things are happening. So what is available through the process of Ashtanga Yoga is also available through the process of Bhakti. But the difference is, as I was mentioning yesterday, the difference is like a person who has become rich by dint of his own endeavor and the person who is born in a rich family. Somebody, after a lot of struggle, lot of effort, lot of endeavor, can become rich. There are many rich people, many billionaires who started from the scratch and became rich. But there is somebody who is the son of a king. Now the son of a king doesn't have to make an endeavor to make money for himself. Just by being born in the family, he has inherited the kingdom. So these other processes are like becoming rich by your own effort. And surrendering to the Lord and becoming a devotee of the Lord is like becoming the son of a king. And not only the son of a king, but son of the king of the kings. That's what the situation of a devotee is. Does a prince have to go out and earn money? Never. In course of time, the father will give him. He'll inherit it. Now tell me, what's the intelligent process? What's the intelligent thing to do? If you have the option to become rich by, or not become, rather try to become rich, because there's no surety that you'll become rich. the possibility of becoming rich by dint of your own endeavor, or uh, the possibility of becoming the son of the king of the kings. What will be the intelligent thing to do? Huh? Not son, I'm sorry, sons and daughters also. Sitaram, what will be an intelligent thing to do? Huh? What will be the intelligent thing to do? To try to become rich by yourself, or becoming the son of the king of kings? We can see how intelligent Sitaram is. Don't you all agree with me? Thank you. Anyway, so that's the sign that you all are, that's why it is said that jajanti hi sumedhasa. The ones, those who will take to the process of Krishna consciousness, they are sumedhasa. What is the meaning of the word sumedhasa? Huh? I'm hearing some murmuring, some whisper. Okay, Jamuna Priya, sumedhasa. What's the meaning? Most intelligent. Medha, the word medha actually means memory. Medha. So memory, good memory is synonymous to intelligence. It is actually. Sumedhasa means the most intelligent. So those who take to Krishna consciousness, they are the most intelligent individuals. Not that we are claiming that we are most intelligent, but somehow we have come to Krishna consciousness. It's not by dint of our effort that we came to Krishna consciousness. It is not due to our previous piety that we came to Krishna consciousness. It is not that due to our extraordinary intelligence that we came to Krishna consciousness. We came to Krishna consciousness because of Srila Prabhupada's causeless mercy. Srila Prabhupada has created this atmosphere which is attracting, or which have attracted us to this process. Through his books, through his temples, through his devotees, through his ISKCON. So this is another consideration. And somehow we liked it, we appreciated it. So in this way, the good fortune for us actually has been created by Srila Prabhupada. So just stay in ISKCON and be happy. Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Become a devotee of Krishna and render devotional service and be joyful. And drown yourself in this ocean of ecstasy and make your life perfect. Thank you all very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari. Does anybody have any question or comment? Yes, Sitaram. Yeah, because they actually suggested. They offered him the seat. And they offered him the seat because they recognized that he is the most exalted spiritual personality. So they considered that he was the most qualified. Same thing with Sutta Goswami. When he went to Naimisharanya, that way there were more, even Shaunaka Rishi was more, senior to Sutta Goswami. In all respects, Sutta Goswami, even by birth, he was not really very, exalted. But when they they recognized him according to his spiritual position. And that's why he was given this seat. Sukdev Goswami's position in that respect, we have to say, even more advanced than Narada. Well, we can consider, anyway. Narada, his own father, Vasudev, was there. You see, the thing is that Sukdev Goswami is from Vrindavan. Whereas Narad Muni's situation is not exactly permanently in Vrindavan. He is undoubtedly most exalted devotee, and he is the giver of devotion. Therefore, he is Narada. But when it comes to, like for example, a resident of Vaikuntha and a resident of Vrindavan, who is more exalted? So, yes.
If the son stay alive, then he will become the heir of his father.
Very good point.
And he also says that similarly, if we stay alive in Krishna consciousness and we stay with devotees,
right,
then we can also get.
Very good point. So don't bloop.
Yeah.
Don't give up Krishna consciousness, no matter whatever happens. Yes.
Regarding this Vidhuta Kalka, this, then you explained nicely.
Yeah. Vidhuta Kalka.
The yogi get.
Very good point. Yeah. Vidhuta means purified or washed, and Kalka means contamination, kalmasha. So here it has been described that one actually goes through, before one goes to Shishumar, he goes through the Vaishyanar. Vaishyanar is the god of fire, and he controls the planet of fire. Sometimes Suryadev, Vivashwan, is addressed as Vaishyanar. So, by going through that region, by going through the region of fire, one actually becomes purified of his contaminations. Therefore, in Vedic culture, there is a system of burning the bodies. The dead bodies are burnt. And through this burning process, although the body is being burned, but whatever attachment the soul may have to the body, to the gross body, even after leaving the body, because generally one remains in the subtle body after death, right? And so when this body is burnt, through this burning process, the impurities or material contaminations are purified. But with a yogi, it happens, literally it happens. He goes to the region of Vaishyanar, the region of fire. And when you go through the region of fire, won't you get purified? Even gold gets purified through fire. Right? So fire is all purifying. So this is, for the yogis, that's the way to get purified. And then he becomes qualified to go into higher. And it's also interesting to note, in the human body also Vaishyanar is situated. Where Vaishyanar is situated? At the base of stomach. Aham Vaishyanaro bhutva pachamannang chaturvidham. I, as Vaishyanar, digest 4 kinds of food. In our body, we are digesting the food. What is the process of digestion? Process of digestion is actually the food being burnt by fire. Don't we say fire of digestion? We have a good appetite, we say good fire of digestion. So that fire of digestion is Vaishyanar in our body. So when the soul, when the consciousness rises through Shushumna, it goes through that region also, Vaishyanar, the fire, and gets purified. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Yes.
So-called Kalachandi. Have you heard?
Kalachandji.
Yeah. Do you know?
No. I know only one Kalachandji.
Yeah.
He is in Dallas. Radha Kalachandji.
So the name of Kalachandi is a group of people who are very, very popular in Tripura and also in Bengal, in West Bengal, etc., as far as I know. But particularly because I am in Tripura, I can see a lot of them. Don't worry, you can eat meat, you can have a sex you like, you can drink anything, can smoke, everything. Just you chant the Krishna mantra, it is enough. No? And after some time, and one devotee, I don't know the name, in Bangladesh, ever wrote one book in which I've reported all the history of this Kalachand. Kalachandi actually is the name of one guru who is not present in this planet, who is coming after some time. And it means that Sukracharya, after being injured by Vamanadeva, he wanted to make a revenge, no? And he have decided to appear in the time, in the second generation after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, like a Vaishnava, taking some initiation from very bona fide devotee coming directly from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and divert all things, now doing exactly the opposite of what required again. So, and also the name was similar to Kaviraj Goswami, so it's just for misguide the people, no? So there is all the history in this book, and there are many of these very well known through the population. They are coming like Krishna Vaishnava, and they are preaching this openly. So I am starting to counteract these things as much as possible, and sometimes I have a very big problem.
I don't think it should be a problem. Because, you see, in the market, there's a diamond shop and there's a plastic shop next to the diamond shop, right? Now, many people will go to buy plastic, but does the diamond dealer become affected by that? He knows, my customers are special. Those who have that kind of money, they will only come and take it, come to my shop. So those who want to have it cheap, those who, let them go. And also, this is, Maya will test. Maya will always test. Mahaprabhu came and made it very easily available. But then Maya came again to bewilder, because Maya's business is to test the living entity. Are you qualified? Yes, Mahaprabhu wants to give it very readily, very easily to everybody. But then Maya comes. Let me see whether you are really prepared to take the mercy. And the result was that 13 Apasampradayas came. Right? And then Srila Prabhupada came. And Prabhupada gave it so abundantly, so freely to everybody. So now Maya is coming to test. So those who are fortunate, they'll be able to remain fixed. those who and take advantage, those who are not fortunate, they'll become victims of Maya. They'll fail. So ultimately it is a matter of qualification, ultimately it's a matter of sincerity. Right? And the test will be there. Are you sincere? Maya will always be testing. Maya will be testing the devotees also. Let us see how serious you are about spiritual life. Here's a test. Again another test. And if we pass the test, we get promoted. We make advancement. We fail the test, we get stuck. The point is we should prepare ourselves nicely so that we don't fail. And they'll be preaching, we also have to be preaching. It's not that we don't have to preach. The diamond shop makes more effective advertisement than the plastic shop. Right? You fly in airlines and you see different magazines. Did you ever see any magazine of a plastic shop, in an advertisement of a plastic shop in these big prestigious magazines? No. But how many diamond shops? Right? I remember many airlines when I fly, it has the advertisements of De Beers. You know what is De Beers? It's the biggest diamond company in the world. So that's the difference. So yes, we have to preach, and that's our advertising campaign. Come, you want diamond? Come to us. You want plastic? Go to Kalachanchi.
I have reading Bhagavad Gita in a chapter where there is described the opulence of the Lord. Is telling amount to the demon, amount to the guru of the demon, I am Sukracharya. No? So
that's true.
Because he's very intelligent.
Because Shukracharya is the guru of the demons.
Yes.
And what is Shukracharya's teaching? He is teaching how to have sex life. That's his business. And what a real guru teaches? How to be a brahmachari. Right?
Yes.
So that's the difference between a bona fide guru and a cheating guru. That's the difference between the demigod's guru and demon's guru.
It is correct to think that in the relation, also this play is done for the people who are not very sincere. We can capture it from these people.
Yeah. Yeah. See, a scavenger comes to a dirty place and takes out the dirt. Do you lament for that? Oh, he's taking away the dirt. The more the dirt is taken away is better for us. More the insincere nonsense are taken away is better for us. So that way, you see, like against black, white becomes whiter. Right? When this kind of preaching is going on, and then out of them, people come and become devotees, you will see their qualities, their qualifications will become enhanced. Right? Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much.
So, any other question? Yes.
Did you mention about false ego in the class?
Mention about?
False ego.
Okay. Yeah.
And I had this question from your class earlier this month, that how does, we have put a lot of focus on.
False means, not real. Right? And ego means mistaken identity. False ego actually means mistaken identity, unreal identity. What is that unreal identity? The unreal identity or false ego is, I am the enjoyer. I am the Lord and Master. I am the controller. Right? So that is what is false ego. I am the controller, I am the enjoyer of this entire material nature. Now what does devotional service do to us? Devotional service makes us into a servant of Krishna, which is our real identity, right? So when your real identity becomes manifest, where is the room for your false identity? Your false identity is gone. So through devotional service, false ego automatically disappears. You become a devotee of Krishna, there is no false ego. Right? Because you have become situated in your real identity. Okay, I'll stop now. Thank you all very much. Gaur Premanande Hare Hare.